Hi there, this is Just a Girl in Camas, and I am actually at Camas High School today, and I am with this guy. This is Tim Fellows, and you might recognize him. I know I do from a couple different places. If you have been at the Camas football games and you see him wandering around, maybe doing push-ups after a touchdown, Tim is there. You might see him at the high school, you might see him at the middle school, you might see him cruising around town. And I am here today because I want us to get to know Tim a little bit better, and I want to know his role here with the schools. What does he do? Is he watching over the kids? Is he arresting people? What is happening? I want to educate you about this also. So, Tim, thank you so much for your time today. I know you're a busy guy.
Absolutely, thank you.
And your title here is what exactly?
I am the school resource officer.
Okay, and I know you're that right now. Let's talk a little bit about how you got into law enforcement. How did you have a desire when you were young? Is this something recent, or what's your history on it?
So after high school, I attended a junior college and finished my 2 years there, went out into the workforce, always had a desire to get into law enforcement. Typically, you cannot start law enforcement career until you're 21 years of age. So I went out into the workforce for a couple years after community college, applied for a couple of police departments. I was attending a 4U university over in Portland when I got a call from Aberdeen Police. I had applied for them, and they accepted my application. We had interviews, and eventually I got hired. I spent 7 years in Aberdeen, and then over the course of the last 7 years, I transferred to Camas PD. So 14 years total in law enforcement, last 7 at Camas.
Wow. So Tim has been here 5 years, which is longer than I thought. So let's talk about what you do here. Give me a description of your day or a week here.
So, as you mentioned, the last 5 years I've been in the schools as the resource officer. My typical day is rotating between the different schools. I try to make an appearance at all the schools. We have, I think, what do we have? 3 middle schools, 2 high schools, and 6 elementary schools. So I'm constantly running around Camas.
Not in one day.
I don't make it to all the schools in one day.
Okay, because that would be amazing.
I make it to the high schools here in Hayes Freedom High School daily, multiple times typically. The middle schools usually twice a week, sometimes 3. And then elementary, usually once a week, sometimes every other week.
Great. And are you making relationships with students? Are you there to troubleshoot issues that come up?
The majority of my job is a lot of PR. I'm the gap between the school district and the police department. So I'm a huge reference and a resource that the school uses when they have questions legally. Occasionally I get called up to the schools, whether it's middle school or high school, for criminal investigations. And then I spend a little bit of time within the classrooms teaching kids, lecturing on different topics.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. So one thing I'm really curious about, I have a high school student, I have a middle school student. I'm done with elementary people. But I do want to know, I'm not here all day. I hear tidbits of what happened. You are here. You're with the staff. You're with the students. You have an inside scoop for us, and I know everything that happens on the weekends during the week here. There's a lot of, these kids are learning and growing and going through challenges. What do you see from your angle? And then on that note, what can you offer as advice or input for parents out there that want to support their kids and be there to help?
Be involved with your kids. Social media is a huge thing. I have to talk about social media. I would be remorse if I didn't. It gets kids in a lot of trouble, not only at the high school level, but at the middle school level. It's not uncommon that I have to talk to kids about a number of issues with social media, whether it's bullying, harassment type stuff, child pornography is a big thing, the sexting between boyfriend and girlfriend, or vice versa. So that's a topic that generally comes up a lot. And there are drug issues that I have to deal with here within the school district.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. So being involved, watching what our kids are doing, watching what they're doing on their phones.
Exactly. I don't have a middle school or high school age student, but if I did, their phone would be mine at the end of the day. When dinner's over, go up if you want to hang out on your phone for a couple of hours, but when it's time for bed, the phone is mine and I would be going through it, monitoring the social media stuff, the emails, all that stuff, the text messages, and then just converse with your child. You need to know like who their friends are, who they're hanging out with, obviously how they're doing in school. I just be up in their business, I guess, is the best way I can describe it.
So that's good. I think up in their business. I like that. Get up in their business. The other thing I'm sure is that if there is a problem, that's part of why you're here. So there are the counselors. They can come to you if they find a problem or are concerned about something with their student or child.
Absolutely. And with the counselors, typically what I get is some drug-related issues, but also poor home life, whether it be neglect, assaults that do happen within the home. So, we work closely with CPS, Child Protective Services. The counselors here at the high school and at the elementary level, I do unfortunately have those type of contacts with them.
So you've done 5 years here. You're going to wrap it up. They're switching you out. How do you feel about that? Are you excited for a new adventure? Are you a little sad?
I have mixed emotions. I'm excited to go back to the road. I will be a patrol officer monitoring the mean streets of Camas, starting at the beginning of 2018. It's a welcome change of pace. However, I mentioned earlier when I was at the university, before I got the law enforcement job, I was going to school to be a teacher. So
Really?
Yeah, I enjoy getting into the classroom, talking to kids, socializing with them at school. And then I've made some friends here within the school district, administrators and teachers and stuff. So, but I won't be an unfamiliar face in the schools. I'm still going to come by and say hello and maybe have lunch a few times at a few of the schools. So
Great. Well, I just want to say I have seen your connection with the kids. It's one thing that drew me. I wanted to interview you because it's not just that you're standing there stoic and observing and just looking for anything to go talk to someone about. I see you engaged with the kids, and I think that's wonderful when they feel like there's someone that they could go to or approach with a problem or an issue, or even have that relationship that's not just someone, looking down and watching. It's someone that is part of the community here at the school.
I would totally
That's awesome.
agree. Yes.
Okay, so I have a little comment here. I reached out to Jeff Snell. He's the superintendent at Camas High School. And Jeff wanted me to say this. Jeff said, Officer Fellows has been a wonderful resource to our community through the relationship he's formed with students and staff at our schools. He cares about our students and our community, and that shows in the way he goes about his job. We are grateful for your service. So,
thank you, Jeff.
Message from Jeff.
Yeah, very kind words. And a little bit of backstory. I've known Jeff for a long time. He was actually a teacher his first year of teaching, I believe, at the high school that I attended. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was a student. He was a teacher. That was back like 96, 97 when I was at Fort.
That's great.
So.
That's great. Well, thank you for your time today. When's your last day?
It's not official yet. I'll be here a couple of days in January helping out because the new SRO, there's a bit of a scheduling conflict. So you'll see me in the halls a little bit in January, but come February, it'll be the new SRO.
All right.
Jason Langman.
We can't wait to meet you, Jason. Tim, thank you. This has been awesome. I feel better. I know what's going on up here. I know what your role is, and I know that if I have a concern or need some help, I feel like I could reach out, and I really appreciate that. If you see Tim out and about, say thank you. He is a big part of our community, and I like knowing that he's touring around our schools and educating them and just becoming someone that they're comfortable with, and maybe in a time of need, he's somebody there for them. Also, I hope you don't run into him in a different situation since he will be patrolling Camas, but also please respect him and know that he's keeping our community safe. So to everyone out there, have a great December. Tim, thank you for your time. Good luck on your adventure.
Thank you, Alicia. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. This is Just a Girl in Camas, Alicia King. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning into my interview today. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe were inspired within our community. Don't forget, you can subscribe on my website, justagirlincamas.com. You won't miss any interviews. And did you know it's a nonprofit organization? 501c3, totally tax deductible. Catch more of my interviews coming soon. Thank you.